This slide I think is very interesting in looking at the number of people age 65 and older who have depression type symptoms. So, it's again, not numbers are not very large, but it is about 15 to 20% of older adults who report some sort of depressive symptoms. And you think about it, if people have a chronic disease, if they've got heart disease, if they've got cancer, they have COPD, there's certainly going to be some depression associated with those. And as people get older, they tend to lose their spouse and other loved ones in their family. So, it's not insignificant that older adults might feel depressed. Some people, when they retire, they're so invested in their work, they feel their life has lost meaning. So it is very common, and it's something that can be overlooked in older adults. If you look at functional limitations in older adults, I mean, these are not huge numbers, but if you look at, as far as men are concerned, about 20% of men and almost a third of women can't do any of these basic activities. So what does this mean for us is that, if we want to keep people independent, they have to be able to perform these functions. They can't walk a block. If they can't lift 10 pounds, if you can't lift 10 pounds, you can't do your laundry. You can't walk a couple blocks. You can't go for errands. So you're going to end up being, stuck in the house. If you can't stoop or kneel, that's also going to affect people's ability to remain in their home. Can they not put groceries away? Can they not get things from underneath the sink? Are they going to have trouble, using a bath versus a shower? So, it's very important that people really lose, functional limitations and that we do something to try to address those. And that's where we can come in as exercise specialists, because the more we can keep people independent, they're not going to have to go into an assisted living that's very costly. Not surprisingly, this graph starts at 45. The youngest of the middle-aged and older adults are the most active, but even so, that's only 30%. Despite all our interventions to try to get people more active, we've not really done a great job in getting people more active. So about 30% of the population ages 45 to 64 are active. And you can see the numbers go down until people, 85 and older are, maybe 10% at best are active. Obesity in older adults. So 65 to 74, obesity has increased, although it has more or less leveled off. That doesn't mean that's a good thing. So 65 to 74, there are fewer people obese 75 and over. So you can sort of read between the lines what that could mean is that if you have people who are obese, they may not make it to that 75 and older category. But, so it's still something to address, because for some older adults, they eat, because of budget, a nutritionally poor diet. So they don't like to cook. Maybe they live alone. Their family members are gone. So they rely on convenience foods just like many other people do. The amount of older adults who smoke, a lot of people who are over age 65 and smoke, they've been smoking a very long time. Most people start in their teenage years or young adulthood. So by the time they've gotten to 65, they could have been smoking over 50 years already. And I think I mentioned to you, my mother quit at 75. So it is possible for older adults to quit smoking, and they still should be encouraged to do so. So let's talk about some of the physiological changes with aging. A little bit of a depressing slide. Our physical maturity peaks in the 20s, and then it is all downhill from there, from about age 30 on. But, the important thing to take home is that you can lessen the decline by being active. You want to be that healthy, even though your chronological age says one thing, you want to have a healthy biological age. but there are certain things that are just going to go down with age. Your VO2 max is going to go down with age. You're going to lose muscle mass. You're going to gain intramuscular fat. You know, decreased ability to recover and adapt to oxidative stress, and that means exercise. So, you know, complex interactions among physiological symptoms. So look at table 26.1 in your chronic disease and disabilities text.